All right, welcome to episode 12. We are going to wrap up our list basics in this episode. So the first thing we're going to cover to continue on to lists, or continue with lists, I guess, is to copy a list. So in Python, you can't just say like list2 equals list1, because list2 would only be a reference to list1. So if you change anything in list1, it would change list2. So in Python, to copy an actual list, if we have our list here, we'll do X as always. We'll populate it with some stuff. 2 and 3. So if we have our list X, excuse me, and we want to make a copy, what we do is we will actually use a method here, and we can say like Y equals X dot copy, and then we can print Y. We'll go, and you see that it copies it, and then this way if we make changes to X, they won't affect Y. So we could do something that, and you see that we're appending the string 4 to X after we've copied it, and then so we're showing that Y copies this, we copy it, we append 4 to this, print Y, print X, and Y is not just pointing to X, Y is actually its own copy of its own list. So another way to copy a list is you can use the built-in method list that we covered kind of earlier. So you can just do the same thing here. We'll actually just delete this. And you can make your new list Y, and you can just say list. And then we can just pass X in as our argument here. And you see we have another copy, and then again if we, I guess I could have just left it, but if we append 4 to X, save, run, you see again that X gets modified, but Y does not. It is a copy. All right, next we're going to talk about joining or concatenating lists, and there's a couple ways you can do this. So we'll just have two lists again. Build those out really quick, and if you want, you can use the prior list that you already had, and then we'll do. And remember, lists can have any kind of data type in them, so we'll just do integers for this one. We'll save, and then you could do something like list3 equals Z equals X plus Y. Z, run that, and you see that they're concatenated. We can even change whatever order we want. So that we can put the integers up front. So that's one way to do it. Another way you can do it, excuse me, is that you can just append it. So we could use a for loop to do that if we wanted. So for element in Y, and we will just append that to X using the append method, and we will append that element, and then we can print X here, and you see that it appends it as well, and we're still printing this Z up here, so comment that out. And you see that we're using again that for loop to append to X every element in Y. So that's another way to do it. print that out too. And then you can also use extend if you remember extend. So you could do x.extend and pass y in as the argument, save it, print x, save, run, and you see it does the same thing. And just to show that this is not using the same thing that we did earlier, it's actually refreshing all of the values in these lists. Well, we can do it that way, and you can see that x is unchanged. So, and we can also print y if we want that output. All right, to wrap up our lists for basics, we are just going to cover some of the methods. We've gone over a lot of these, but I just wanted to refresh your memory on them, and there's no need to memorize all of these. Just know that they exist. Once you maybe practice each one or two times, and then it will pop into your head when you're looking for it down the road. So anyway, if we have a list X here, you know that we can append that list, and we can add an element at the end of the list, 5. We can clear the list with the method clear, which removes all elements from the list. We can use copy to return a copy of that list, and remember, assign it to a new variable, or else you're just modifying the original list. You can do dot or a count as a method, and you can put in an argument there with a element with a value, and it will return the number of elements with the specified value. You can extend. You can assign that to a new variable as well if you want, instead of just modifying the original list, and that would add elements of a list or any iterable to the end of the current list. So as an argument, put in any list or any iterable into the extend method. We have index, which will return the index of the first element with the value that we specify and pass in as an argument. We have the insert method, which the first argument is going to be the position that you want to insert at, and the second argument is what you want to insert into the list. We have pop, which removes an element at the specified position or the last element in a list. We have remove, which will remove an item with a specified value, so we'll iterate through the list and remove an item with that value. We have reverse, which reverses the order of the list, and we have sort, which sorts the list, and remember that one is case sensitive. So again, I'm using W3 Schools as a guide for this tutorial series. If you'd like, they have a series of list exercises at w3schools.com for Python list exercises. You can just search there and you can complete those exercises. And we will move on to tuples or tuples, however you'd like to pronounce them, next.